wanted the Hextech Ultimatum and the
they
Heroes
do
Entrance
the
duo. They're going to get it in some weird spots. Who's going?
Out of vision, now going to be seen as he does manage to get the hookshot. Remember, no flash available for Sword. He's down very, very low, and I don't even think the fling was used. There is first blood going over to ADD.
Actually,
the thing as well is that they were looking good in their first game of the season as well. I mean, against BBQ meant that we needed more samples in order to make sure that we understood how good, but it was cleanly.
We'll just mop up the CS.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that Pilot's debut game was on the Ezreal last season as ADD. Okay, Yondu's going to make his way in, does manage to get down Shelly, but in goes the Paranoia. They're trying to get out. Yondu does escape from Tarzan, but the flash is going to finish that one off. Ian just throwing buttons into absolutely nowhere, and they're unable to get the turret
back. MVP smartly will go over to Ocean Drake, and these are the things that I really want to reward MVP for. So a lot of it's in range of the ward that AD had put on the Krugs. Here we go.
Yep, there's the old combo coming in. They get a really nice stun, though, and there's the ultimate coming out from Rather. He's trying to turn it all around. The Cannon Barrage is doing nothing, but now the Trouble Bubble is going to miss. The Hero's Entrance comes down, the fling onto Rather. They get the 2 kills. Ian finally finding the buttons, and Rather, he's in no man's land. He's not going to be able to get out of this one. That's the double kill for Ian.
Cleaned up by the Zoe. That ward on the Krugs was the true. Of course, doesn't have a global to get there, but had the boots of mobility. Didn't know there'd be that much action so instantly. Now, bot lane turret is taken
onto ADD. He now knows absolutely nothing as the Paranoia comes in after the slow. He's trying to run away, but it's just not going to happen. Cannon Barrage, they're just to seal the deal.
Then he used the combo. Have been able to free farm, and that man Vladimir may answer the story. All this poke, all this range poke.
Spittles aren't very good.
MVP going to take the Cloud Drake, but no reason to contest that. Don't feel good giving away a third Drake stack at 22 minutes. But
I just want to see this team fight and see whether it works, and we might get it right now as Viper. That's a very early pull. Lots of flashes to come out. True Shot Barrage finds nothing as Lahens. He's got the ultimate, and now the Paranoia comes forward. The heroic entrance is not going to be enough as Yondu is going to fall, and Tarzan, he's going to go golden as well. Max is trying to escape, and it's ADD that actually gets himself into a great spot. Tarzan has to flash out of the way of the turret, and now Viper gets another pull in order to get himself out of the way, but is it enough? No! Ian with the follow-up, and this is what we were talking about. MVP can chase very, very nicely, but can they get on top of this Griffin squad? Looks like Sword is going to be the man who they focus on, and they're not going to be able to get there, and now turrets lie in their way.
Ends up being very, very even after everything. Griffin were very out of position. Rather on the Lulu was guilty of this in the first game of the season. He's also out of position now. It looked like MVP. Wow, this is an Infernal at 28 minutes. They will force a 5th Drake to spawn, because it is 6-minute respawn timer. We didn't get a spot as to what it is. I guess entrance, as we've called it. And now Griffin.
Actually, looks for the Hemo Plague. In goes the ultimate, and once again the Paranoia is on a weird target. But they do get the Cannon Barrage onto Maha. He's completely out of the fight. True Shot Barrage, the only thing he can offer, and they lose Max. Sword making his way in as well. He's already used the ultimate. Now ADD wants to try and find the Pirate. They just pile onto this turret, though. And Griffin, they found the fight that they were looking for. Ian just trying to get poked.
And Malphite Orianna stayed
50-50 Barons, and once again they're going to go for it. Cannon Barrage is going to deter them, and Max is stuck in this pit. In goes Tarzan once again. He's got the Wild Growth. Not a lot of mana here, though, and he's taking a lot of damage. Hero's Entrance comes down. It was onto Yondu as they get Lahens out of this fight. 1-for-1 trade already as ADD boosts his way forward, and Maha, he's doing damage finally in the back line. The Paddle Star is going to land there as ADD is just playing gatekeeper for the rest of his team. MVP, they have found the fight that they were looking for, but Maha may have thrown it away. Sword just needs one auto and gets it. And now Ian, it's all on you to win this one. Jumps on top of Rather, but he's playing this beautifully. Ian still picks it up. And now Sword, it's theoretically next. Going to be in 6 minutes after this, so a 41-minute Elder Drake means that theoretically
we've ever seen. But ADD with double banner of command minions by his side.
Get out of there. The headbutt in the Hextech Ultimatum was good, but where does he go now?
And what happens around him? He's
the Paranoia is going to come in. Viper, really good choke point to try and get down the Hemo Plague, but he's out of this fight already. It's going to be Viper getting it with the pop, and now it's 2 kills. MVP have to scatter because Griffin, they found the fight they were looking for, and it took Lehens to... He's going to be the Baron going over to Griffin, and I feel like this is the pivotal moment in this game where Griffin feel like they have it in the bag.
Counter each other when you have Vladimir and Nocturne to run at poor little Ezreal.
Yep, and speaking of running at him, he's going to have to get the heck out of this one. The Hemo Plague is on, though. Really good use of the Zhonya's here for Ian to try and keep him alive, but it's not going to work. Sword's going to be able to lock down that kill. ADD going to burn to death, and Tarzan goes down to his GA. His job is completely done. They get rid of the inner turret. This inhibitor turret is going to melt at the hands of Griffin, and I have a feeling that that's all she wrote for this game. They've got a bannered up minion to get this one through, and Viper is doing so much work. He goes golden as well. The Hemo Plague doing all of the work. See you later, MVP. See you in game number 2 as Griffin have wrapped this one up.
Such good work in the early game by MVP. They kept trading up, but eventually you press R and run at them if you're Vladimir.
He doesn't die, and what was it, the burning brick wall build coming out from Smeb last night with a Gargoyle Stone.
At this pace, seems like it's going to happen, but we'll hold the point.
Yep, Yondu going to get the flash off here as that's going to be first blood going over to him. Viper trying to get one back for himself as the Ignite's ticking down. Yondu is going to survive as Tarzan looking for a dank on the top side of the map. It might be, but we'll see whether the dive is going to work. Holds onto the hook shot as ADD's in trouble. Hextech Ultimatum is going to be his death.
Trying this game a bit ahead of the expectations of Griffin. It's a bit under the nose of Griffin picking up this Drake. So a nice little mountain, and that was their big win condition in game 1.
Trophy's going to get in here. Soul Shackles are actually invested into this as Lehen's not going to be CC'd, and that's just going to be a pick motive. Just punished for positioning. Tarzan, he's going to come in, ultimatum underneath this turret, and ADD, he's definitely dead. Sword can now tank the turret for about 15 years. Okay, well that one's very easy to take. And on the bottom side of the map, Hemo Plague has been used because Viper took a little bit of damage, he says, being facetious to the viewers. Griffin, though, they're not facetious. They can just grab themselves the Infernal Drake. That's going to even out the Dragon count here between these two squads. Marksman in the meta anymore, but of course, Lucian still relevant, Ezreal still relevant, and Kai'Sa to a certain extent with her AP build. I feel like afterwards, if he goes for something like a Thornmail, that makes a lot of sense as well, as he's behind the turret right now, and they should be able to just brute force their way forward on this one. MVP didn't have a lot of options there as a health bar wasn't quite up as ADD. He's going to get stunned. There's the ultimate. As now they've got Paranoia defensively utilized here by Yondu. As Tarzan is going to make his way out effectively, and the Mundo...
Going to be anyone on the back as maybe those kill ADD now.
Yep, well he's going to be able to eat some oranges, did still have the flash available, but Sword, he doesn't care about turrets, wasn't even tanking it there. As you can see, Chovy's running extraordinarily fast. Hemo Plague to try and turn this one around. That is going to be the binding landing as Ian does get himself... by Viper.
And they win all ends up. They get the kill bot lane, they take the inner turret in the mid lane, they grow their gold lead closer.
Revolution, so unfortunately this isn't a winning game right now, but Pilot might be able to get himself to a point where he can skate around the rift.
Maybe even has to go for a more Malmortius, which builds for a very different. It is a cool thing to see.
Well, in goes the engagement. And that is a very, very dead Braum. Hextech Ultimatum just guaranteed it. It's not the jungler to try and get himself towards this Baron Pit. Viper, Crimson Rush going to get himself back up to health as Sword. He's just a wall. He is a brick wall, and he's doing so much damage as well. Paranoia not going to do anything. He's going to go golden, but at the same time as the Camille, and Tarzan's going to be able to walk out of this one. Pilot is limping away from the...
This champion is super powerful on patch 8.11. It
botched that particular idea. I've been playing a heck of a lot of Trinity Force Sterix, but in goes Yondu. They're looking for the desperation fight. They jump on top of the Mundo, but he's a sadist, and he's going to be able to get all of that health back. In goes Tarzan. Massive amounts of damage. The Hextech Ultimatum spreads out MVP so they can be eaten by Griffin. This is looking like the 2-0 as Chovy is going to finish off the Pirate. It's a double for Tarzan. They'll take down the inhibitor, and they'll take down the base. Griffin looking at a 2-0. 12-1. It's a massacre.
Turns out if you give them a lead, they can definitely close the game from there. Great performance coming through from Griffin. Gonna give the MVP, my vote, at least a Sword, as the Mundo definitely went